Hey everybody, hi there, it's Kathleen. So I'm going to show you how I do clay. So first off, I'm not trying to promote any certain kind of clay. I would recommend getting clay probably at a health food store, and just get it in a loose form. And so there's a lot of different clays you could be getting. There's like green clays, there's red clays, there's white clays. Bentonite clay, Kaolin clay, all these different kinds of clays. Experiment with them. What I've found for myself personally is when I purchase clay mass that are already kind of pre-mixed, so they're already like creamy, they're not dried, that I've had really varying results. So sometimes they've stung my skin, which is not nice, and sometimes they have dried my skin out. So I think that's sometimes where clay gets this bad reputation for being drying, because when it's not just used in a pure form and people are formulating it, they're not cleverly formulating it, and so I've had these results where, like I said, stinging and drying, not nice. So try and get a dried clay, that's what I'm using, and I'll show you how to mix it. So because I'm a Dr. Hauschka esthetician, I'm working with Hauschka products, and I have this clay here. Here's the Hauschka clay. It's a Loess clay. It's quite different than all the other clays I was talking about. It's actually from glaciers that came together and crashed together and made dirt kind of particles that went up into the air, and then they settled down into the ground in these pockets. So it's a different kind of a clay. And I'm just going to pour it into my little bowl here that I mix it in. I use about a teaspoon, like a level teaspoon, not really any more than that. So I'm using about that amount of my clay. Now, depending on what your skin type is, we can mix it in different ways. So if I was more oily skinned or had more, blackheads, blemish skin, I could simply mix this with water. That would be one way, but my preference would be to make it funner and more effective and smell better and all kinds of wonderful things, is to add a toner and to add an essential oil. So the toner is going to be the thing that's going to be in place of your water, and then you want to be choosing one that's kind of appropriate for more oily skin people. I've got this beautiful one here from a company called Original Swiss Aromatics. I like this company. They do essential oils. And this is bay laurel, and I like that for more blemish skin. And then for an essential oil, maybe I put in thyme, anything that's going to work good with more blemish skin, eucalyptus. Even chamomile is really nice because there's a lot of inflammation. But we won't get into all that. So that's more for oily skin. Everyone else who's more like normal skin, I would just mix this with some kind of toner or hydrosol. So that would, you mix it up. For mature skin, like me, I would use either a toner or a hydrosol. And I would also put in something that's going to add some oil to it, actually. So I would actually add in like a little bit maybe of an oil-based serum. This one here is a sea buckthorn serum, or I could actually add in like a little bit of the day cream that I use, or a cream-based mask. So why don't I do that? First of all, I'm going to add a little bit of the oil serum, and just a bit, almost out of this one. I don't know if you can even see, but I've added a little bit, like a few drops. Then, because I love essential oils, a drop of essential oil would be very beautiful for mature skin. Frankincense. 1 or 2 drops. That goes in. And then some toner. So I'm going to use my Hauschka toner. And I'm going to need a lot. Kind of a toner, spray, spray, spray. I prefer the toner over water just because of all the added benefits. Like if you're using a hydrosol, of course it's going to have all the benefits of the essential oil. And then I stir it up, and so we want to make it to be kind of like pudding or yogurt. So not too runny or it will just run off the face. Then, before I put it on my skin, one of the things that I like to do, and I do this when I'm doing treatments too, is I take a balm of some sort. So some kind of balm, like an eye balm, or if you don't have an eye balm, take an oil-based serum. So I have my little oil-based serum here. And what you're going to do with it, so if I'm using an eye balm, I'm just going to warm that up because it's got beeswax in it. And I'm just going to put it around my eye area to just kind of also treat the eye area while I'm doing the clay mask. Also, ideally before you've done your clay mask, you've done some facial steaming, and I would put this on before the facial steaming to protect the eye area. It's very delicate. So it goes on there, and I also like to do it around the lip area to protect the lips, and it's also like a little treatment for the lips. Like I said, if you don't have balm, then use like an oil serum. So again, I didn't have the balm, so I could put a little bit of the serum on too. Same idea. Then I'm ready for the clay. And so I'm just going to look in this little mirror so I can see what I'm doing. We just basically want to put it all over the face with my little brush. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I don't want to bore you, but you get the idea, putting it all over the face. But I also want to include this important thing here about we want to go down the neck. Especially here, all down here is lots of lymph. So make sure when you apply on yourself and on clients, you go down the lymph. Okay? Now, to take the clay off, at home it's easy. Just some nice warm water at your sink or basin, and it takes it off. And how long are you going to leave it on? I leave it on till it dries, and that doesn't take very long, like less than 10 minutes, and this stuff is dried. So then as soon as it's dried, just rinse it off. With your clients though, what I recommend, because I don't like it to dry on the skin, partly because it's really hard to get off once it's dried, and I think it starts to feel uncomfortable on the client too. It starts to feel tight, and we want them always to feel like really pampered and not uncomfortable in any way. So on a client, you're going to use what I found is I need to use 3 towels. So you might have terry cloth towels. I use these muslin compressed towels. So I would actually be using 3 to remove it. But before I even remove it, after I put the clay on my client's face, I would take one of these cloths, immerse it in my water, wring it out, and I would apply it to their face. Kind of like this. Sorry, you gotta let them breathe. But I would apply it wet to their face, and because it's going to keep it moistened while it's doing its thing, and then just leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes while it's sitting on. That's a nice time to give them a hand and arm massage, give them foot massage, shoulders and décolleté, neck, and then after the 10 minutes or so, remove it with, like I said, it's going to take probably 3 towels to remove it, and then you're going to have this beautiful, fresh skin. Okay, so go to it. Use some clay. It's awesome.